All right, guys, it's time for the new tier list for the Dio Over Heaven update. Before we get into it, remember we are doing the 1 million Robux giveaway. All you guys have to do to enter is hit the subscribe button and drop a like on the video. Winner picked at 1 million subs, which is happening soon. All right, first up, guys, on the tier list, we got Gyro. This guy was from the Infinity Castle capsule. Now, they don't have him yet on the damage list. However, I will say he's not a bad unit for early ground, I'd say. So I'm going to put him on the early ground list towards the bottom. That's kind of what he's made for. As far as like meta ground, etc., I'm not going to put him on any of these lists. I don't quite think he makes it, but I will actually put him. I believe he goes over here to the good ground section. I believe he's hybrid as well at the end, so I'll put him over here in the good section. He's not too bad. And as far as element wise goes, he is the nature element, but the thing is, there's so many nature element units. Like, he's gonna be at like the very, he's probably gonna be like somewhere around, I would put him around, right around here with a Cocuine, but he's not really that great. All right, next up, guys, we have Dio Ultimate. This guy's actually surprisingly good. He does quite a bit of damage, and honestly, one of the better units in the game. And he is actually a dark, unlike his Evo, which is pretty interesting. So 1 second, let me go pull him up real quick, and let's go put him on the tier list. So I don't really think he's gonna go over here to any of the early game. You might, he's maybe early ground, like he has some potential in early ground, but it's not really what he's made for. He definitely is though a pretty good hybrid unit. So I'm gonna put him, I'll probably put him over here towards the top of the good hill hybrid units. Like, he's actually surprisingly good. And as far as element goes, as far as dark elements, like, he's definitely up there. I'd probably put him above Yami. So he's up there with not quite as good as Sukuna, but he's up there. All right, next up we got let's go with Pooie Over Heaven. All right, Pooie Over Heaven is now officially obtainable. He's kind of hard to get though, and his DPS is actually not as bad as people have been saying. So if we go over here to the glitch list, you can kind of see his DPS is actually in the top, like top 15-ish. He's number 11, and he's actually number 4 AoE. So he has one of the best DPSs in the game. So he's actually one of the better units. So I believe I think he is, let's see here. I believe he is a light element, I want to say. I need to double check, but yeah, here's his max stats. You can see pretty decent DPS. His damage seems low, but look how fast his SPA is, and he's also full AoE. So he's actually probably like the best light DPS in the game, like with Dio. So I'm putting him high up on the list. Very good. And meta overall for sure. All right, definitely meta overall. Top 10 DPS. Yes, he's there. All right, meta hill and hybrid. Yep, he's hill and hybrid. He's up there. Meta ground, well, he's hybrid, so yeah, really good unit, guys. So Pooie is definitely a W unit. And as far as, he's not really going to be on there, he's not really an early game unit. All right, next up we have the beast, the one and only Kira Yoshikage. This guy is absolutely insanely busted. If we take a look at him on the DPS charts, he is number 3 DPS all time. That is higher than Escanor. Absolutely busted. Now remember though, his AoE isn't as good, so he's a little bit lower if you factor in the AoE, but his straight up DPS is out of this world. So a meta overall for sure, and up there as well. Like, they're both really up there, so I'll just put them there, but they're higher up on the list. All right, top 10 DPS. Yep, he's a top 10 DPS, and I believe he's hybrid as well. So yep, he's just absolutely insanely busted. And for his element, he's very good. I believe he's the nature element, I want to say. I might need to double check that. Let me see here real quick. All right, killer is, no, he's the water element. So as far as water element goes, he's actually even stronger than Rimuru. So I would probably say Rimuru has the edge, but yeah, he's really good, up there with Rimuru. Definitely a big W unit. All right, next up we got, let's pick somebody at the top here. Diolo. So Diavolo's all the way up here at number 19. He is an AoE circle though, so he actually has a little bit lower DPS, but he's better for like starting out and whatnot with hemorrhage. So he's not a bad unit, I'd say, but he's definitely not like super high up on my list. So I would say he's one of the better units. Now, as far as Diolo. His element, he has another dark unit, which there's kind of a lot of already. But he's definitely pretty up there in the dark. Not as good as Dio, obviously, but he's pretty good. I will put him as probably meta hybrid. And he's not a top 10 DPS, but he's really, really good. And then he's not going to go on this list. He doesn't really deserve it. All right, next up, we got probably one of the worst units of this update. I don't even know they put him on the list. Oh, they didn't even put him on the list yet. That's how bad he is. All right, so we got Johnny Tusk Act. Now, he actually has one of the lower damages of the update. So he honestly doesn't even go on this list at all. And I'm going to put him in the... He's kind of like... He's low. His DPS is just kind of mid. So he's going to go on the support list. He's just kind of eh. You know, just not really worth it. I believe he's also grass as well. So he's going to be on the low end of grass. Not really that worth it. So he's kind of mid. All right, next up we got Jordo. I believe Jordo's also another grass unit. Let me check. They put a lot of grass units in this update. Yeah, grass unit. As far as what his DPS is, his DPS is... That's Dio over heaven. Dio... All right, he's not even ranked yet, but his DPS is actually pretty decent. I'm going to put him up there in the nature. He's better than Tuskak. So he's going to go over here into the hill. He is a hill unit, which is kind of nice. So he's definitely meta hill. So he's pretty good up there. But as far as that goes, he's not like super insanely OP. All right, next up we got Dio over heaven, guys. So Dio over heaven is absolutely busted. He's probably the best unit in the game. If you guys don't know what he does, I will show you a little bit of what he got. So on equip evolve. So he has this ability where you can stun, electrify, freeze, fear, and time stop all last a lot longer. So basically he's meta for infinite mode if you give him to one player for like the support units. Like just have one of your players have all the support units. And his DPS is actually as well pretty top, as you guys just saw on the list. His DPS is one of the best in the game. And of course, guys, he is meta support as well. Make sure you guys have him in your loadout if you are using your support team. And he's going to be very, very useful for that. Definitely one of the best units in the game. But he's not really good for progressive at all. But he's absolutely busted OP. All right, next up, we have the last unit. We have the Battle Pass unit. This unit is actually pretty cool. It does random status effect. So I don't really know if we can put it anywhere in the meta, but it's just kind of like good RNG. It's just kind of like a fun unit. So overall, I would definitely say it's going to be in the good category. But it's pretty cool to have a unit that just does a random effect. And his ability is also pretty cool, so I'm going to put in the meta support. So very, very good unit to get as well, and it's basically free. So there we go, guys. We covered all of the units in the update. So as far as units you want to go for, obviously the best units in the update are Dio over heaven and Pooie. And the rest of them are okay, but again, you really just want to get Dio and Pooie. The rest of them you could probably skip. They're useful, but not insanely useful. And also, don't forget to enter the giveaway, guys. We're giving away 1 million Robux at 1 million subscribers, so help us get there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.